When an INFJ has had enough, this will happen. Have you ever encountered someone who seems endlessly patient, compassionate, and understanding, only to suddenly withdraw or shift their demeanor? Chances are, you've met an INFJ, one of the rarest and most enigmatic personality types. While INFJs are known for their deep empathy and boundless capacity to support others, even they have limits. So, how can you tell when this rare advocate personality has reached their breaking point? Let's explore the top unmistakable signs an INFJ will display when they've had enough. 1. They withdraw from social interaction. INFJs are natural nurturers, often putting others' needs ahead of their own. But when they've reached their emotional or mental limit, they will retreat into solitude. This withdrawal isn't out of spite but rather a survival mechanism to recharge and process their feelings. If an INFJ suddenly becomes unavailable or cancels plans, it's a clear sign they've hit their limit. 2. Their responses become short or curt. INFJs are typically warm and engaging conversationalists. However, when overwhelmed, their communication style shifts. Instead of their usual thoughtful replies, they might offer brief, blunt, or detached responses. This change signals that they're conserving their emotional energy and may not have the bandwidth for extended interactions. 3. They stop initiating contact. INFJs often go out of their way to maintain relationships, checking in with loved ones and offering support. If they stop initiating contact or let conversations fizzle out, it's a strong indicator that they're emotionally drained and need time to recalibrate. 4. They seem distracted or disconnected. When INFJs are at their limit, their usually sharp focus and attentiveness wane. They might seem distracted or less present during conversations, as their mind is preoccupied with processing their feelings or protecting their mental state. 5. They become less empathetic. INFJs are often described as emotional sponges, absorbing the feelings of those around them. However, when they've had enough, they may temporarily shut off their empathetic radar. This isn't a sign of apathy but rather a boundary they've set to protect themselves from further emotional overwhelm. 6. They start saying no more often. People-pleasing is a common trait for INFJs, but even they have a limit. When they've reached their breaking point, they become more assertive about saying no to requests or commitments that drain their energy. This shift is often a sign they're prioritizing their well-being. 7. They exhibit physical signs of stress. An overburdened INFJ might manifest their stress physically. This can include fatigue, headaches, or muscle tension. If an INFJ seems unusually tired or complains of physical discomfort, it may be a reflection of their emotional state. 8. Their idealism turns into cynicism. INFJs are idealists at heart, always striving to see the best in people and situations. But when they're burned out, their idealism can sour into cynicism. They might express frustration or disappointment more openly, especially if they feel their efforts have gone unappreciated. 9. They avoid emotional conversations. Normally, INFJs thrive in deep, meaningful conversations. However, when they're emotionally depleted, they'll shy away from discussing heavy topics. They might steer conversations toward lighter subjects or avoid emotional exchanges altogether. 10. They start questioning their relationships. INFJs are incredibly loyal, often holding onto relationships long after they've become one-sided or draining. But when they've had enough, they may begin re-evaluating their connections. If an INFJ starts pulling away or voicing doubts about certain relationships, it's a sign they're prioritizing their own needs. 11. They become overly critical of themselves. INFJs tend to be their own harshest critics, and this self-criticism often intensifies when they're overwhelmed. They might verbalize doubts about their abilities or feel guilty for not meeting their own high standards. This self-critical behavior is a red flag that they're under significant stress. 12. They exhibit passive-aggressive behavior. While INFJs prefer direct and honest communication, they're not immune to passive-aggressive tendencies when they've reached their limit. This could manifest as subtle sarcasm, avoiding confrontation, or indirectly expressing their frustrations. 13. They become hyper-focused on small details. When overwhelmed, INFJs may fixate on minor issues or tasks as a way to regain a sense of control. This hyperfocus can be a coping mechanism to distract themselves from larger emotional or mental stresses. 14. They express a desire for change. When INFJs have had enough, they often feel a strong urge to make significant changes in their lives. This could mean ending a toxic relationship, seeking a new job, or embarking on a new personal project. If an INFJ starts talking about drastic shifts, it's a clear sign they're ready to reclaim their emotional and mental balance. If you recognize these signs in an INFJ you care about, there are ways you can help. Respect their need for space. Allow them to withdraw without taking it personally. Solitude is essential for their recovery. Offer empathy without pressure. Let them know you're there for them without pushing them to open up. Encourage healthy boundaries. Support their decisions to say no or distance themselves from draining commitments. Be patient. INFJs need time to process their emotions and recharge. Your patience will mean a lot to them. Validate their feelings. Acknowledge their emotions without judgment or trying to fix the problem immediately. INFJs are deeply compassionate and resilient individuals, but even they have limits. Recognizing these 14 signs can help you understand when an INFJ has had enough and needs support. By offering empathy, patience, and understanding, you can help them navigate their stress and regain their balance. Remember, even the most selfless personalities need care and compassion, and INFJs are no exception. Do you agree with these insights? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more psychology-focused content. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.